So, the big day finally happened. On August 21st, 2025, Australia ran an invitation round for the 189 Skilled Independent Visa. And let me tell you, this one wasn't just a little update buried in immigration news. 6,887 invitations were handed out. These people suddenly found an email that may have changed their life forever. Now, before you picture thousands of applicants doing victory dances in their kitchens, let's slow down, because while the headline number is exciting, what's hidden underneath is even more interesting. That's what we're breaking down in this video. Let's look at why this round matters, who the winners are, how the points played out, and what it means for anyone still refreshing their IME account, like it's their social media feed. The size of the round, why it matters. First off, 6,887 invitations for Subclass 189 in one go is big. Australia has been slowly cranking up its invitation numbers after years of relatively cautious rounds. For most applicants, waiting felt like sitting in a queue outside a popular restaurant where you're not sure if the bouncer even knows you exist. But now, the door cracked open wide enough for nearly 7,000 people to walk in. Why now? Think workforce gaps. Australia is still in the middle of balancing an aging population, ongoing skills shortages, and an economy that wants to grow without getting strangled by a lack of workers. The 189 is a powerful tool for that, because it doesn't tie you to a state nomination. It's pure, independent migration. You get the visa, and you're free to live and work wherever in Australia. That freedom makes it golden. The points game. Not everyone needed to be a superstar. So the natural question is, what points score did you actually need? In this round, the magic threshold wasn't sky high. Many candidates with 80 points and some with 65 points got invitations. Compare that with previous years when it felt like you needed a near-perfect record. Think PhD, fluent English, 5 years experience, and maybe also juggling skills to get noticed. This round was more generous. Not everyone needed a Nobel Prize, and that's a relief. It signals that the Department of Home Affairs is willing to cast the net a little wider. If you were sitting at 80 points and biting your nails, there's a good chance this round worked in your favor. Occupation breakdown. Who got lucky? All right, let's get into the juicy part. Which occupations got the golden ticket? Healthcare professionals, as usual, were at the top of the queue. Nurses, doctors, and allied health workers made up a huge share. Australia's health sector is stretched thin, and this invitation round reflects that reality. If you're a nurse, you probably felt like this round was practically designed for you. Engineers weren't far behind. Civil, chemical, and electrical engineers featured strongly. Then there are the trades. Plumbers, electricians, and joiners didn't get left out either. It's clear the government isn't only looking for lab coats and laptops. They're also making space for the people who keep infrastructure running. The timing, why late August, was strategic. Now, why was this round scheduled for August 21? Think about the migration calendar. Mid-year is often when the government evaluates how the annual migration intake is tracking against targets. By August, they can see if they're on pace or falling behind. Running a large 189 round now signals that Australia wants to accelerate things before the end of the migration year. It's a bit like when you realize your New Year's resolution is slipping away in October and suddenly hit the gym 5 times a week. Except in this case, it's the Department of Home Affairs realizing, hey, we actually need these workers now. For months, applicants were speculating about whether August would deliver a small drip of invitations or a proper flood. And then, bam, 6,887. It was bigger than most people expected. The sheer scale has sent ripples through migration forums, social media groups, and WhatsApp chats of applicants worldwide. Some people are celebrating, and others are recalculating whether they might get picked next round. But almost everyone is admitting one thing. This was a game changer. What it means if you weren't invited. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Not everyone got the golden email. If you weren't invited, don't panic. The important thing to notice is that the department seems to be opening up more opportunities. This round is a signal of intent. They're not holding back as much anymore. Future rounds could look similar, or at least bigger than the trickle of invitations we used to see. So, if you're sitting at 70 to 80 points and didn't make the cut this time, don't delete your IME account in frustration. You're in the running. It's just a matter of patience and timing. Another interesting angle is how the 189 competes with state-nominated visas like the 190 or 491. For a while, the states were the main game because the federal government wasn't running big independent rounds. But with nearly 7,000 189 invitations, the balance shifts. Because the 189 doesn't lock you into a regional commitment, it gives freedom. That means people who were reluctantly looking at a 491 regional pathway might now feel encouraged to wait it out for a 189 instead. This could shake up state nomination numbers in the coming months. The big picture: Australia's message to skilled migrants. Zooming out, the August 21 round is more than just a lottery win for the people invited. It's a statement. Australia is basically saying, "We need you, and we're ready to invite more of you at once." The migration program isn't just about numbers, it's about plugging real gaps in the labor market. Healthcare, engineering, IT, trades. These are sectors where shortages are felt every single day. By delivering a big 189 round, the government is making a bet that skilled migration will keep the economy ticking over while local training pipelines catch up. The human side. Behind every number is a story. Now, let's not forget the human side. Behind those invitations are actual people. Someone who's been waiting 3 years while their expression of interest gathered dust. Someone who's been living overseas, watching the news nervously and wondering if Australia still wanted them. Someone who has already packed half their belongings, just in case. For those people, this invitation round wasn't just a government statistic. It was the email that confirmed their dream is real. But before we all start drawing hearts around the Department of Home Affairs, a quick reality check. An invitation isn't the same as a visa. Applicants still need to lodge, still need to pass health and character checks, still need to go through the process. The invitation is the green light, but there are still a few traffic lights ahead. What happens next? So, what should you expect going forward? If you got invited, congratulations, but don't sit back. Start pulling your documents together, get your police checks in line, and don't delay. The clock ticks fast once you receive that golden invitation. If you didn't get invited, don't despair. Look at your points again, check if you can boost them, maybe through English tests, partner points, or work experience. And keep an eye out for the next round because August showed that big rounds are definitely back on the table. The latest invitation round was a milestone. Nearly 7,000 invitations in one go is a huge deal, not just for the applicants, but for Australia's entire skilled migration system. It signals confidence, urgency, and a willingness to finally speed things up after years of slower rounds. Keep your points strong, keep your documents ready, and keep an eye on the next round,